You are listening to Book Clips, a podcast where authors and narrators expose you to excerpts from different books. You can find the show and more by searching for The Lesbian Talk Show on iTunes, Podbean, or Stitcher.
Hello, I'm Roberta Degnore. I'm going to read from my book, Until You See Me. It was inspired by true events. Chapter 1. Tucson Gazette, Tuesday, April 23rd, 1932. Body found in trunk. Tucson corpse sent to L.A. claimant. A gruesome mystery was uncovered in Los Angeles this morning, with police discovery of the body of an unidentified person shipped from Tucson. It is believed the person had been slain there. The cause of death is as yet unknown. Chapter 2. 4 months earlier in Tucson. The long strand of beads swung in his hand like a pretty colored pendulum. I would have to earn them to celebrate the big change from 1931 to 32. He touched my neck and I leaned back, pressed on him, knowing he liked it because he had taught it to me. Martin taught me almost everything I knew about most things. He was the mirror on some long wall that stretched away from me and reflected all I could see in my life forever. I knew what would show my gratitude. I knew how to show it without messing up my outfit. We were dressed for the party and we didn't want to be late, but he expected something from me. I knew that. His work fed me and clothed me in these hard times. I was able to learn whatever style I had because of him. A cloche hat, a clutch bag, and I went willingly with him away from my family. True, I planned it. I knew I would have chased anything that helped me slip out from under the weight of their Calvinist yoke. I was born Christiana into that sad religion, but then I took Martin, gleaming, future-giving Martin. He was smart, quick, piercing-eyed, handsome, and he gave me a way out. He named me Pearl and taught me how to live. I grew up all of a sudden in bed with him, but it was still mostly new for me, even after 3 years. I knew he expected appreciation for the beads. I didn't mind the way he pulled me against him and touched me with his hands and with his body, but I did tell him that he might wrinkle my dress that was so hard to come by and so hard to replace. "Don't worry, I don't want it that way," he said. If we had had more time, it might have been better, but he was too aware of the time and being neat with me, and I didn't expect anything for myself, not rushed like this. This was for him, like the beads were for me. And so the party was already loud when we got there. Martin was knife-edge neat with his slicked back hair and all. I covered up whatever curves I have in a dress that wasn't daring at all, and too cheap, even for these times. We stood arm in arm, leaning into one another. Couples rushed to the song "I'm Just Wild About Harry," loud from a phonograph, and it mixed with "Brother, Can You Spare a Dime" that moaned from the radio. I didn't care about that. I couldn't take my eyes from taking in the house. It was Spanish style and large and belonged to the hospital director, and was a world away from anything I had known before. In the 9 months we had lived in Tucson, we were never invited out. Now, on New Year's Eve, the whole hospital staff was invited, including Martin, the newest doctor with only a year's contract to prove himself at Tucson Memorial Hospital. Another year, another place. "I'm going to dance with your wife," Gordon McCandless pushed near us. "Over my dead body," Martin told him. "Whatever you say, buddy." Gordon gave me a drink of bootleg, and I took it only after Martin gave the nod. And after that, he began to talk, intimate and whispering. They talked together, him and the smooth and shining Gordon. I watched them, then I wanted to test the party. I backed away to be on my own. The lines in the small vase I had picked up drew my eyes right along their complicated design. There was thin line next to thin line in a steady, radiating pattern. The lines moved over and under each other, but never really touched. I didn't hear the deafening music anymore or feel the crowd. I held the black and white Indian ceramic, delicate but sturdy in my hands. "You're the odd one, aren't you?" The voice was near and like silk touching my ear. It must be a joke, someone with too much bathtub gin. I got ready to laugh, or to at least smile. I had to. I refused to let being called Odd One bring up any memories that were too true before I met Martin. Odd One. Hello was all I said as I turned. A woman's eyes held me very hard, but they somehow smiled. Her movements glittered like they were outlined by sun spray, and she smoked a cigarette in a small gold holder. She had blonde hair that looked like those socialites I envied in the Sunday papers' rotogravures. "It's perfect, isn't it?" she said. "I'm surprised to see it out with such a crowd. I wouldn't trust it. But I'm more surprised to see anyone stuck in a corner looking at it. Don't like parties?" She exhaled a circle of smoke, laughed, and forced me to smile to look normal. I wanted to run. She watched me too closely, and too close. "The vase is Acoma. I'm Claire. You must be Pearl." She extended her hand, but I couldn't. Her perfect hand was left there like a painting of the Virgin Mary reaching out to give a blessing. Left for hours in an instant in midair, she reached and took the vase from me. "How do you know?" Did I say that? I was proud to get out the words. "The lines," she said. "Only the Acoma Indians do it like that. See, they're made by a blade of grass pulled across. I mean, how do you know who Martin," she snapped. "I work with him. Since I came here 2 months ago. Since then." Now, Martin always gossiped about co-workers. He complained or belittled them, shared his amusement with me. That he left out this woman, this sculpture come to life from a page of Italy's artworks, the book he kept on our wobbly kitchen table, that surprised me. But that was nothing compared to the cramp in my stomach, that someone like her knew me on sight. She called him Martin, and I couldn't shake away from the sound of it. She called him Martin. "I need a dance with you," Gordon said to me, and to Claire. "Excuse us?" "If that's a real question, the answer is no." "I guess I'm supposed to be scared," he joked back at her. "How delicious," she said. "Easterner, right? You'll show the slowpokes out here a thing or two," he said to her. "Maybe 3, she laughed out loud. "First you have to tell me how you heard about me. Who would have told you any fairy tales to scare you off? You scare easily?" She flicked an ash onto the hand he held me with and apologized, but not really. She made us take the sham of apology, and we pretended it was real. I gauzed myself behind a veil that distorted her sharpness. Claire. That mellow voice was brittle now, an ermine with razor teeth who came too close. "They call everyone by their first name out east?" I asked Gordon when he had led me away. "He's never said anything about her. Martin, I mean." "It's not him she's after, if that's got you worried, kid. It's me." He said it fast. "I'm the one after her, the perfect Claire Walsh. Too beautiful for anyone not to want. Except for Martin, of course, who's got you. Which is probably why he doesn't talk about her. He doesn't care. But me and everybody else in the world can't help but try to get a woman like that, see?" I looked back to where she left an unlucky admirer in a circle of smoke. "Yes," I said. I was in a play and acting in certain ways and reciting certain lines that were written, but not right somehow. I danced and willed the feeling away. Forget it. I wished it away with a resolution for New Year's. Gordon helped by pulling his arm around my waist and holding me against him in the crowd. The party, the people, the noise, the liquor, all of it was an excuse for anything now. For drinking, for flirting, for her musical laugh that rushed at me through the noise. I couldn't forget her.
This was an episode of Book Clips. Check out the show notes for more on this book. And it would be great if you would rate the show and subscribe to the Lesbian Talk Show podcast channel for more women-centered content. If you are an author of lesbian fiction, then send us your reading. You can find out how on thelesbiantalkshow.com/reading.